Creation Slayer 3000 says, do you think there is any value in secular individual in embracing Stoic or ascetic values? Obviously, avoiding pleasure sometimes is good. Don't eat yourself into diabetes. But what about things like fasting or living sparsely? Is that a good idea? What do you guys think?
I agree. I think that's what a lot of people are crying out for when they turn to religion or Tate or people, whoever, Peterson. They want some sort of order, some sort of structure. Now, I believe, and obviously as an atheist, I believe you can get that without God and prophet and heaven and hell. And the Stoics, which preceded Abrahamic religion by thousands of years, right, have already shown us the way of denying short-term pleasure for long-term pleasure in general is a good strategy in life, and it's not easy to master, but it is good. And I think if you do live by that, you do become a better person. You do achieve your goals and live a more fulfilled life. The problem with this sort of hedonistic way is that everything is now, the pleasure is now, and at the end of the day, when you look at yourself, you haven't really grown as a person overall. So yeah, I definitely think so. We are crying out for this. The answer is not necessarily conservatism, right? The way that it's been defined, it's something like this, something like a Stoic approach. And that does mean controlling what's in between your legs and not thinking just because I'm free now, I can do whatever I want, wherever I want. That's not to say you don't enjoy it at all, but you pick your moments. And same with food. Don't eat so much food. Everyone's fat nowadays. Why is everyone fat? Back in the days, if you were poor, you were skinny. Now, if you're poor, you're fat. And you die.
And then they say that you need to glamorize being fat.
That's also pushed by who? Is it pushed by the left or pushed by the right?
Hey, I don't deny we have crazy.
Say it. I want you to say it.
Yeah, the left.
People.
The left, yeah.
And Tate's coming in with his six packs.
What Vidu? Are you insane? Who says the left doesn't have its crazies? Like, did I ever deny that left doesn't have crazies? We highlight them. No.
Yes, they do.
You don't.
In mainstream culture, in Western mainstream culture,
of course you're gonna see them. Okay, I agree with you. You know what? Because the left.
That's body shaming. Body shaming, guys.
Let me make my point. Okay, Vidu.
Lizzo.
I agree with you. Okay, mainstream media is owned mostly by the left. So you're going to see the crazies of the left on mainstream media more than the crazies on the right. If the mainstream media was owned by the right, you would have seen more of the crazies of right-wing people on the media.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
But it doesn't mean that we don't. It doesn't mean that we have more crazies. It just means that more of our crazies are on the media than their crazies.
More of your crazies have like let's say we have 100 number of conservative crazies or right-wing crazies and 100 left-wing crazies, and I'm on the right side, okay. I'm a right-wing crazy, but only 20 of my people have microphones.
Yeah,
100 of yours have microphones.
I agree. That makes sense. But right? That doesn't mean we have more crazies. It's just our crazies are just more mainstream media.
Have more of a sway in mainstream culture. That's not just like.
But that's going to change though. With
when it comes to voting,
50-50. And more of conservative crazies have access to mosques and churches and politicians.
Bro, in the West, who goes to mosques and churches?
What?
In the West, churches don't mean shit. They don't.
No. Okay, they don't mean shit. The wokeism dreams of being able to have the power that religion has on politics. It doesn't even come close.
No,
the power of religion and politics, it doesn't even come close. We could talk about it.
I would say
I would say that wokeism is trying to get there. The amount of influence
wokeism is imitating the religious structures that Christianity.
Yes, I agree with that. But they haven't yet have their claws on religion, politics the way religion has it.
Very close. The gap is changing. The gap is closing.
But let me answer this question because we're getting off topic. So I think the actual question is not that. So Stoicism and just like not eating too much. I think the questioner understands that those are good things. But he's asking about going extreme, like fasting for a long time and going withholding pleasure. And I think that's a bad idea because we have enough ways to practice restraining pleasure that are helpful, that are actually beneficial, that you don't need to find excuses to withhold yourself pleasure to the point where they're not helpful, right? So working out, for example, requires you to withhold pleasure in the short term for a long-term goal, but while you're doing it, you're benefiting from it, right? Or working hard, like, for example, stop playing video games and studying. and like practicing, like for example, you say like I study 10 minutes without any without stopping at any point. I'm going to try to do 20 minutes next. I'm going to see if I could like study without any pauses or any distractions for 30 minutes. Like you could practice these things, and while you're doing it, you're actually studying. You don't need to go find like, oh, I'm going to go sit in the snow because this is going to make me tough, because if I could stand the coldness or the heat or whatever, I could stand under the sun. Like you're damaging your body. Like there are enough excuses to practice restraint and this delaying pleasure that at the same time is benefiting your health and your mental fortitude, that you don't need to go find excuses that is damaging. Like for example, fasting for a long time. That's not really good for you, right? Anyways, that's my advice. You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
I agree with this. What Armin basically said. Yeah, to me, what's attractive about liberal values is recognizing individuals. I mean, the individualism, and you see this onslaught on individualism. Sorry, Vidu, can you mute yourself? You're sniffling away. So individualism, respecting individuals, and we need to respect individuals. And this is a problem these people have when it comes to gender issues. And it's not only trans is the low-hanging fruit for them. They have the same problem with women as well. They're like, oh, women, gender-defined roles, women. Look at all these guys, yeah? And they get caught, every now and then, they get caught up in their own words. They're like, oh, hijab was trying to make excuses from, oh, it's just a semantic issue. No, it's not just a semantic issue. Andrew Tate said, oh, they misrepresent me when I said that, oh, my sister is my husband's property. You freaking said it. Oh, no, what I meant to say was that, oh, I'm responsible for your safety. Therefore, I can, and now I'm paraphrasing, therefore, I can exercise certain restrictions on you, certain powers on you, that I can tell you don't go out at 2 a.m. at night. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt because, honey, I love you. You know, this is said by every control freak that, oh, I hit you because I love you. You know, so that's what it is. And I can understand it. You can be in those tough situations. I've been in a tough situation where I'm like, okay, you know, like you have a fight with your other half and you're like, okay, please don't do this. Okay. You're like, okay, all right, I've calmed down. You haven't calmed down. Oh, I want to go out for a walk, whatever. It's 2 a.m. This is not a safe neighborhood. Please, you would beg you, change your tone. And trust me, try that. It actually works. But if it doesn't work, you have to let them go. Otherwise, it's false imprisonment. But I get all these problems. They exist. And if something does bad happen, then, you know, you're not responsible for it. You did your best for it. But what is definitely wrong, if you beat the shit out of your girlfriend or wife or whatever, as these people suggest, that, oh, I'm going to exercise certain powers, you would definitely not only spend a night in prison, but you might be spending a few more nights in prison. By nights, few more nights, I mean like a few more years in prison. And that's how it should be. So coming back to it, so individualism is about respecting individuals. You want to respect individuals. We give them the respect and dignity that they deserve. And yeah, you get it. Okay, you're not like avoiding pleasure. You know, like I'm going to work out. I'm not going to eat chocolate. And it requires certain discipline. And why do you do that? Okay, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be healthy. If I'm healthy, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to attract, really hot females, or whatever your end goal is. I'm going to drive a Bugatti. You know, like this is a big thing with OGs these days. But so I think it's not that big a deal. It's not that hard to understand. You don't need a freaking book to tell you that, hey, look after yourself, look after your world, your health. And be disciplined. Wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., whatever your thing is, and go and work out. It's not really that hard. You don't need religion for it. You don't need conservatism for it. This is the whole point of liberalism. Be educated enough to work it out yourself.
Get my best-selling book, Why There Is No God, for free. Click on the link for it in the description.